Hello, it's Mark Shaggy here. I will present you the tool that should improve and speed up bid managing using bulk operations. You need to generate bulk file in your ads dashboard and download it, import it to this tool, and it will help you to manage the bids quicker. This tool is not available yet for the wide public. Only the few people that wanted to be a beta testers have access to it, but you can watch it too. It should come up pretty soon, and for the beta testers, this is the video for you. I will explain how it works and what might not work, and I hope you'll find it useful anyway, and maybe you will suggest some further features that I will apply in this tool, and also maybe you will help me to find some bugs that I can fix. So let's hop on to the sheet and walk you through it. So this is the spreadsheet. Obviously you need to go to the Amazon and generate bulk file, download it, then you click import it, upload, and whenever you upload the file, let's make it recent, something like that, you just hit insert new sheets. I've got it here, so I don't need to do it, but this is the first step. So you have rules tab. Probably you will have portfolios and sponsored product campaigns. For now it works only for sponsored product campaigns. Later on I'm planning to build it up for the other ad types too. So first of all, here you can see the menu, and for the tool to work, whatever you click, first thing it will ask you to authorize the script. Probably you've done it a few times if you've used some plugs. Hit advanced and go down, go to the bids managing and save and allow. So the first click didn't work because we need to allow, and let's make it use, let's check it if it's working, running the script. Yeah, it removes the formatting. Oh, it didn't remove the last one. Right, so I need to work on that too. Right, so here are all the rules that you can set up. This is a tool where you have total freedom of what you want to do with your ads, meaning it requires some thinking from you. You need to figure out what formulas you want to apply, and you need to know a bit of math. It's not that complicated, but you need to know it, like how mathematical functions work. So here is on off, meaning whether some formula will be executed or not. Next is naming. It's just for you. Entity, it means which row you want to target in your spreadsheet, meaning if you want to do some changing on the campaign level, bidding adjustments, ad group or product ad, or keyword or product targeting. And here you have campaign, bid adjustment, ad group. You can pause it or unpause it. The same with product ad, you can pause it or unpause it. And targeting means keyword or end product targeting. It's both. And here is the formula you want to execute on this row, and on the right hand side this blue columns, they are the conditions when this formula needs to be executed. So for example, let's take this one. I will highlight it, turn it on. When you have orders 1 to 4 and ACOS is greater than 30. So how to do it? Orders 1 to 4. So we need to go to the column orders. Yes. And we need to type in 0, greater than 0, less than 5. At the moment the script works, it also has to be greater or smaller than something. You cannot put 0 or 5. So for example, if you want to select any orders that have 0, you need to put less than 1. So anything, when you see this sign, anything, I will explain how this works. So let's say 5. This is greater than 5. This means less than 5. And this means greater than 5 and less than 7. So basically this means 6. This means 0 to 4, 5 is not included. And this means 6 and upwards, 5 is not included. So it's greater. So when I want to put in orders 1 to 4, I put greater than 0 and greater, and 5 and less. So the second condition will be 30% plus. So we go to the ACOS level, ACOS row, and we put in 0.3 and more. You can type in 0.3 or 30% and more, and they both will work. I just prefer to use the mathematical presence of the 30%, which is not 0.3. 100% is obviously 1. And why? Because it's easier when you use it that way. It's easier to imagine it when you write in formulas. So what this will do, whenever it will find a row with keyword or product targeting, because we selected targeting, sorry. So whenever it will find a row which has keyword or product targeting, then it will check for these conditions, meaning orders 1 to 4, meaning greater than 0, less than 5, and ACOS is greater than 0.3, meaning 30%, then execute this formula. What it means, CPC, cost per click, divided by ACOS times 30%. So how does it work? Whenever ACOS is greater, let's say here, it would, sorry, this one, right, okay, this one and this one. So what it will do, it will take the cost per click divided by ACOS and times desired ACOS, meaning I want to bring it down to 30% ACOS. So the calculation would be something like this. CPC divided by ACOS and times 0.3 or 0.3. So why it doesn't show up? Right, okay. Yeah, so the target bid would be 81 cents if you would want to lower it down, and this one, it would knock it down to 61 cents. So basically that's what that formula would do. And here is where your imagination and your experience with ads comes in, because you can come up with, you know, plenty of different rules. For example, here this is the setting for campaign, because I've chosen campaign, and whenever I get 1 to 4 orders and the ACOS is 50%, yeah, so what we would do is orders 0 to greater than 0, less than 6. This means, sorry, let's do this 1. So whenever we get, or even 0, yeah, so 0, and our cost is 50%, more than 50%. So what I would want to do is just less than 6. This means it includes 0, and the ARCOS is greater than 50%, meaning I need to go to ARCOS and 0, 5 and more. Then it will be executed. And what it means, when I generate the bulk file, I can select 14 days, and yeah, you do that. So you generate it. So now you can understand where from 14 came up in this formula. It's just for the purpose of 14 days. It means if I'm having a bad ARCOS and the sales are not so great, I want to reduce the campaign budget. So what I do, I set up spend, whatever the campaign spend, divided by 14, meaning averaging what it spent per day, and times 0.7, meaning times 70%. So I'm cutting it down by 30%, leaving 70%. Yeah, so this will bring the budget down. Of course, you can set up minimum and maximum. For example, for campaigns, you need to set up 1 because budget cannot be lower than 1. And if you don't set this boundary, sometimes budget can go below. And whenever you upload the bulk file back here, whenever you upload this, you will get an error just because of the budget went too low, and it's not acceptable. The same here, you can set up for the bid, and that bid cannot be lower than, let's say, 12 cents, and cannot be more than, I don't know, 77. It's an arbitrary thing. You can set up your own boundaries, but they work. And here's another example. Let's say orders are more than 5 and the ARCOS is less than 25. So let's do this one. Orders are more than 5, so we can set it up 5 and more, and the ARCOS is less than 0.25%. What it will do, it will pick up the CPC of this targeting row, and it will add 2 cents to it. Again, you can set up minimum limits and maximum, I don't know, 55, whatever is your max. Right, and this one, RPCCA, I need to do some other explanation. RPC means revenue per click, and this is useful because thanks to it you can apply some rules to calculate the correct bid if you don't have any data on the keyword. So to explain you this, first of all, let's uncheck all rules. First thing first, whenever you import the sheet here, you can go here and format SP. What it will do, it will add necessary columns and calculate additional data. It's doing it now, and of course the bigger the file it is, the longer it will take you, the longer you will have to wait for this spreadsheet to populate this data, calculate and populate this data. For example, on one of my accounts, I have spreadsheets that contain 20,000 and more rows, and to just calculate all these blue columns, it can take a minute or two, sometimes it depends. So I need to walk you through what this formatting added. of course there's a state, new state, daily budget, new daily budget. All the calculated values are pasted into the blue columns first before you apply them to the correct columns, so you can check all the changes before you apply them. You know, you can eyeball it, and you can decide whether to manually change it or just after some time, when you have the confidence with your formulas that you came up, you just don't look at it at all, just hit apply later on. TCPC, it means target cost per click. And why it's not, there's also a new bit, why it's split into 2 rows, because target cost per click is whatever the formula will come up that your cost per click should be. And new bid is calculated based on the target cost per click, but it also factors in if you have budget strategy up and down, for example. So if your calculated target CPC would be, let's say, 50 cents, and you have up and down turned on, it would mean the new bid should be 25 cents. This means you will never go above 50 cents per click. The same applies if you have placements adjustments, like 100% top of a search. Again, it needs to apply formulas. For this one, it's not just divided by half, but anyways, that will be later. A new placement, of course. So what are these columns? Conversion rate, of course, it's not needed because we have conversion rate somewhere here. Yeah, it's here. But anyways, double checking that it's correct. Of course, this is the percentage, this is the mathematical representation of 18%. Cost per acquisition. Next is revenue per click. Revenue per click is simply how much you made. Well, it's simply sales divided by clicks, but it's the same as cost per click divided by ACOS. And just to show you this, let's say cost per click divided by ACOS. It's the same, revenue per click. Yeah. So whenever you type in the formula, you can type in this. CPC divided by ACOS times 0.3 or RPC times 0.3. It's exactly the same. You know, you will get exactly the same results. So why to bother to calculate revenue per click? Just because I can also calculate revenue per click on the ad group level, and also I can calculate revenue per click on the campaign level. And I can see here a bug, and probably because it's a dummy data. So revenue per click means sales divided by clicks. And yeah, we can have revenue per click based on the campaign level, ad group level, and ASIN level. On the ASIN level, it calculates the overall revenue per click for the ASIN, and if you have only one ASIN in an ad group, it will show up here. So why it's useful? Because you can use this scenario, 0 sales, and you can get revenue per click on the campaign level, so how campaign is performing, and apply this bid to the targetings that have 0 sales or even 0 clicks. So this way you know more or less what the bid should be. At least it's not a guessing or arbitrary number that you came up out of nowhere. It has some scientific data why this bid should be, let's say, 30 cents and not 27 cents. It's just because that's what the performance on the campaign level is. Next this TOS, ROS, PPG, top of search, rest of search, product pages, and it simply takes whatever the setting is here and places it here. Why it's necessary? Because over here you have this data only on the bidding adjustments rows, and now if I select, let's say, keywords and product targeting rows, yeah, you would not see that. And here I can tell that, for example, this keyword, gaming t-shirt, it has on the campaign level, top of the search almost 11% bidding adjustments, rest of the search 100%, and product page is 0. And the highest placement adjustment is 100%, and based on that the bid is calculated. Like I told you, for example, if the bid will be, let's say, 44 cents, yeah, so your new bid should be actually 22% or 24%. That's what I do. Sorry, 24 cents, just a bit higher. This means you will be paying 44 to 46 cents per click for your best performing rest of search placement. And here it also copies bidding strategy on a campaign level. DDO means dynamic down only, DUD means dynamic up and down, and fix means fixed. And based on this one, whatever the software finds in this column, it will apply. Let's say this is 24, yeah, so if that would be the DUD, it means dynamic up and down. So to not have actual cost per click greater than 44 cents, this should be 12 cents, yeah. So your new bid should be 12 cents, because dynamic up and down can increase the bid by 100% up, and highest placement adjustment 100% can double it again. So 12 times 2 it means 24, and times 2 it means 44. So yeah, this is how it works. And these columns, they are simply number of ASINs in a campaign, number of ASINs in ad group, and number of keywords in campaign, number of keywords in ad group. So you can use the filtering here. So for example, if there's only one ASIN and the highest placement adjustment is greater than 0, meaning there is some placement adjustments, then execute this formula, meaning set the bid. What it's for? Because what it will do, it will detect whenever there's something here, meaning there is bid adjustments. Yeah, so whenever there is bid adjustments here, and there's one ASIN, this is just an example, it will copy this bid here, and it will force recalculating it new bid, just for the purpose of getting the actual cost per click at this level. You need to recalculate this bid. I also set up a lottery campaign. I don't like when lottery campaigns have bidding adjustments. At the moment I cannot put just 0 here, it doesn't work. I need to fix that. There has to be some mathematical formula here for it to work. So for example, bid times 0, whatever, because whatever times 0 gives you 0, and I want to set it to 0. So for example, if I want all lottery campaigns to be to have bidding adjustment set to 0%. I can type in here portfolio, lottery, if I have all lottery campaigns in portfolio, or I can type in this is the way how I mark lottery campaigns. If it is a lottery campaign, I add LOTT into the campaign name, and how it works, it just finds this string in your campaign name. So if your campaign name contains LOTT, then this formula will be applied. Yeah, there's no other conditions in first row. So let's check this out. Let's bidding adjustment. Let's select these. Let's go here and let's find out run selected rules. It's running the script. Ooh, error. Yeah, so it should calculate new rules. Right, let's have a look if it works for the bids. Keyword, right. Sorry. Right, run selected rules. Yeah, it copied the bids. Right, so before I will share this spreadsheet, I will fix this issue. As you can see, it's still in beta. So let's have a look. Let's run additional. Yeah, let's have a look. Okay, so it's calculating. Of course, the bigger the spreadsheet is, the longer it will take to calculate these values. And as you can see, the values changed. And yeah, so what's next after we calculated it? Right, let's step back a bit. Whenever you calculate new percentage here, let's have a look if magic formula, because I developed the formula that will calculate the new bid. So magic placement calculator, yeah, it calculates it correctly. So let's pretend that these were all zeros. Yeah, so whenever the new bid is calculated, before you do other rule execution, you need to apply, you need to sync in this new percentage here, because let's put this right, because at the moment it is all keywords have these values. So what you do, you sync in new placement, and what it will do, it will copy these placements here. So now you can do the correct bid calculations, because as you can see, this one is not correct, as these settings were not updated. So when we run these formulas again, only now the new bids will be calculated based on whatever is here, meaning 0. So these values should change. Run exactly these values should change. As you can see, now it's top highest placement adjustment is 0, so it just copies the TC PC to new bid, and if we calculate new bid, it's only here, and now we need to sync it here for the bids to be calculated properly. So yeah, syncing here. It takes time. Again, the bigger your spreadsheet is, the longer it would take to execute all the functions. So once again, this should change if we will run the rules. So run selected rules. And they changed, they applied just because the highest placement adjustment is 100%, so it featured it into this formula. Right, so let's say we've done all the calculations or everything what you needed to do. Next step would be apply, and apply bid plus placements, apply bid. So what it means, this one is just copy the values from this row into the bid, and this one is copy the values from this row to the bid. And again, I'm getting errors, but it doesn't matter, it will be fixed. So apply rules. Rules applied, meaning values being copied from here to here, and whenever the new value was different than the old one, it adds on update to these rows. So you can see only these rows were updated, other ones weren't. Right, so the next step would be clean formatting. So what it does, it removes all the unnecessary rows but one. That will be fixed as well. Yeah, and next one, sometimes you have really big file and it's pointless to upload it back as it is, because upload will take longer, and everything to be applied can also take longer. So what I like to do, I like to remove all unnecessary rows, meaning every row that doesn't have an update in its operation column. So delete no updates. What it will do, it removes all the updates. And now what you can do is just like copy, right click on the sponsor product campaign tab, new sheet, open new sheet, and this way you have only one tab without the additional rules tab. Simply download it. Once it's downloaded, file and move to the bin, because you don't want to have thousands of sheets here. And next you can delete all sheets. It will delete all sheets but the rule. On this demo there are still some bugs, but I wanted to record it now before I fix them. I will publish this video, and whenever it's published, probably I will have all the bugs fixed, and then I can share this video with you, my dear beta testers. I don't know, beta testers or beta testers. And yeah, I'm waiting for your feedback. I hope you will like it. I hope thanks to your feedback I will be able to improve it.